Hello, this is Garrett. I want to talk a little bit about volume and specifically my volume intel indicator that I've developed over the past decade or so. But before that, I just want to talk about just charts in general and about volume in general. And what we see is a classic uh, chart page like I have pulled up here. This is actually the ES on a 2 minute time frame, and this is from the 22nd. Today's the 23rd. But I just want you to take a look at that because this is what we always look at. We have the VWAP, we have our moving averages, we have our candlesticks. You may see some red and some white. That's just no more than an RSI ADX crossover that I put on there, but also have market profile. And you see where you have peaks and valleys of the profile itself. And as of late, that's been the hottest item, I think, the past 5 years, or at least that's what it looks like on YouTube. A lot of different explanations about where the peaks and the valleys are. The peaks are where price is going because that's where everybody is willing to pay up or sell up or whatever term you want to use. The challenge is between peaks, there come valleys, and it'll chop you up. And if you've been in the indices long, the ES or the NQ, you know that it can be costly either way. But I really think that volume is the last frontier of all indicators and of all understanding when it comes to day trading. You've had volume profile, we mentioned. You've had volume delta. You have up volume, down volume, volume accumulation, volume oscillators, rate of change, and it's just a complete overkill in my thinking. But having said that, I really think the volume is where the next indicator will come up from, and it'll change lives. And that's really what I have done with my indicator, the volume intel indicator, because I believe that understanding volume is the key to knowing what price will do. Not might do, but will do. And so, as we just peruse this chart, you'll see how you have volume at the bottom here, red and green bars up, down, sideways, whatever. But what I want to do now is I want to pull up my volume intel indicator. And so give me just a second here and I will pull it all up and we'll take a little look see and tell you my thoughts on all of this moving forward. Boom and boom. And now I'm just going to get rid of regular volume. And let's see if this does anything. Great. And it does. So here's my version of volume. Um, Let me get this where it'll fit a little bit better. This, by the way, this is my first recording of all time, as you can tell. But what we see here, this we had a 9:30 open. We had some volume, nice volume. But the thing that caught my attention was this red pink, and I'm gonna call it red pink only because I'm not giving it a term yet. But red pink indicates to me it's going to be a change of trend or change of direction. And we had it actually. We had a down bar here, and now we're up here with the red pink, and it continues on. Now, this caught my eye. I had my first color, if you will, the blue color, but in this case it was the red and purple color, and that was at 9:40. And then we had two, what I'll call two blues in a row, blue, blue. Now, that tells me to prepare to exit. So, having seen the first blue, at the second blue, I'd have put a stop loss there at the bottom. Had I gone long, and I would have been long. Um, in fact, I was long. But what I did on the exit was I would have stepped it up after the two blues. I'd have moved it up here to the bottom of the 946 uh, candlestick, and then finally moved it up to the 948 bottom candlestick, and I would have been stopped out at 950. In 950, of course, we see that we have a red blue, shows volume coming back in, and another blue. But because, again, close in color, two blues, if you will, secondary blues, you did have a reversal there. But in addition, you also had two yellows. And two yellows to me tells me that it's like a spring being compressed and it's going to pop off and go. And it did. It went off at 10:02 and continued down to 10:08. The market again did what it's going to do. And by the way, you saw that we had a red pink followed by a blue. Again, that indicates a reversal. It did have a reversal. It wasn't very strong, but we had a reversal. And then we come down lastly that we had two blues in a row. Perfect. Or should I say a red blue and a red purple and a blue purple. I'll call those two blues for my conversation. But we also then had a red pink. And we had a red pink on a change of direction, which tells me that this market will continue on up. And I will hold until I get two blues in a row. So I could go here to here and could exit at this pivot point, but I would not have. I would have held on for two additional blues, blue, blue, and I would have started stepping up my exit and I would have exited out at 11:32. Again, guys, this is not the all end all. What it does though stay is another way to look at volume, a way that has been very profitable to me. And if I were younger, I would program and code, and which I can't, and nor do I have the mindset to do this. But algo traders and the like, this is a way that you can buy this system. You can actually back test, and I think it'll be very profitable for all parties involved. Thank you for viewing. Look forward to posting another one soon.